Dang nabbit! If those kids could read, they'd be very upset.
Good evening and welcome to the Joust. My name is Naggy. I'm joined once again by my fearless co-host, Mr. Liam McNeil. Liam, thank you for joining me for another week.
It's a pleasure. I've never been accused of being fearless. I don't like it.
Well,
I fear that.
Mate.
It gives me a full cause for concern.
Full-
You're only ever described as fearless if something bad has happened to you or something bad's about to happen to you.
That's true.
No one ever says he's had a calm week at work. He's fearless.
He'll be challenged by fear.
It's like, no, all his possessions were stolen by bandits. He's fearless.
I'm always concerned that you
So
see.
you're not fearless.
No, well,
Are you concerned?
quite quite the opposite. I'm concerned of when you see sort of pop culture tropes where they, you know, someone falls into a coma and they say, "Will he make it?" And then someone says,
He's
"Well,
a
it depends.
fighter."
Is he a fighter?" And then I'm worried that it's going to be me, and my loved ones around me, and then I'll be
Is
in
he
a
a
coma.
fighter?
Is he a fighter? And everyone says, "No,
not
really, not
yeah.
really."
He's
no,
kind of a giver-upper.
This might be our goodbyes.
You know, when others bend, he breaks.
And there's have the doctor going, "Well, okay, well, it's not usually."
You know, I've seen some fighters in my day. He gave up immediately.
Yeah, he's going. Actually, he's
Straight away.
It was the shortest coma ever.
They looked down. Oh, he's gone. No, he didn't even bother the machines. He just drifted away.
What a macabre start to the show now.
Yeah,
I hate to bring the mood down. Sorry, Justice.
But to bring-
Pondering the inevitability of death that comes to us all and leaves no man or woman untouched.
One man that does not fear mortality, of course, is our musical guest for this week. It gives me great pleasure, as he has been on his fresh tour of Monaco.
Ooh.
Yeah, right there in Monaco.
It's a bit rich for my blood.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the Just Stage, Mr. Harmon E. Monica.
Well, he's here to stay with the red and blue on. Watch the street away. A man's got so tall. He's a man on fire. Love to score the trials. We're happy to lock him down. Let's keep him in this town. When he said, let's oach. I like the night's club, baby. He said, a night for life now, baby. He said, let's oach.
Thank you, Harmon.
Is let's oge a thing now, Naggy?
Apparently so.
Is this
Apparently.
the new thing that we all say? Is this what the kids are saying?
Yeah, the kids, as well as Mr. Dylan Lucas, who have signed with us till the end of 2030.
Oh, yes. We'll save that for the news, should we, Naggy? Because we've got
Yeah,
a lot
we'll
to
save
say
that for
about
the-
it.
we'll save that
a
for
lot
the
to say
news.
about it.
Yeah, of course, and we're looking at current events. The most important thing that we have to discuss, Liam, is where after the 4 wins on the trot and the win over the Parramatta Eels.
The mighty, mighty Parramatta Eels.
Yeah, and the mighty smugger meter. How smug are we allowed to be? We can check this live right before your very eyes. Yep, it's
That's working. Oh, wow.
There we go. We've landed on Lana Del Rey levels of smugness.
Famously, sort of smug, but not deservingly so.
Quietly
You know?
smug.
Quietly smug, yeah.
I think a lot of people have heard her sing. Not many people have heard her talk. But also, similar to what the Knights have put forward this year, a great highlight package deal of things that we've done great. But some of them would say that's also rather small to be that smug. It's not. It's not
a small sample size.
It's not the kind of catalogue that you can really lean on.
She had like 3 big songs.
3 big songs.
Yeah, Knights have had 4 big wins.
Great, yeah, that's right. And so we had 4 big wins on the
I
trot.
loved her song Young and Beautiful from the film Gatsby. It's a great movie. I love Gatsby.
Never saw it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Baz's finest, maybe.
I do love a Baz Luhrmann
Love a
film.
Baz.
He makes very pretty films.
His films are gorgeous. They're all surface. There is no subtext. There is no subtlety. And I like that about him. He's like, I'm just going to make big, dumb, pretty movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Strictly Ballroom. Got to give it a rewatch.
Beautiful.
Yeah, great film.
Of course,
Romeo and Juliet.
Whoa. The
Claire
Eels.
Danes with the angel wings on. Oh.
Yeah, probably a peak. Yeah. Anyway,
Peak Claire Danes. That was the only good thing. No, sorry, Ben Lee. Remember Ben Lee, the famous Australian musician?
Yes.
He did exactly 2 good things in his life. He released the song "Cigarettes Will Kill You," which is an all-time banger, and he dated Claire Danes.
He dated Claire
and then he
Danes?
made that shit song that got really famous.
yeah,
it?
yeah, I can't think of
I like.
it.
Anyway, not a great
Anyway,
song. But
yeah,
anyway,
not
well
great.
done, Ben Lee, for dating Claire Danes and making one good song.
That's incredible. I never knew that.
Yeah, there you
Anyway, speaking about remarkable things, Liam, the Newcastle Knights win over the Parramatta Eels. Now,
Would
not
we say it was remarkable? Nag is a bit of a flaccid penis of a game, I thought.
flaccid penis, flaccid eel,
Yeah.
a flaccid eel of a game.
Oh yeah.
And-
Famously the most penis-like animal.
Yes, it was back at home in front of a roaring home crowd. This was sold out. There with
23,001.
Yeah, at
very
one.
specific number.
It feels like 23,000 should have been the cap, and one bloke
Could have rounded down,
snuck
yeah.
in through the turnstile.
Well, it was like the old stories of the Knights of old, where they're like they just stopped counting at halftime and just let everyone in. Just open the gates.
They always have stories about that. Oh, the SCG used to hold 96,000 people. Dangerous.
Well, I was
Just
sitting
dangerous.
on roofs. Yeah, all the fire escapes were blocked. Yeah,
Now, of course, we have to look at the weather report, the very important weather report, as well as the ground conditions.
good.
Weather fine,
as it always is, and it never isn't apparently.
was a fine day there. Of course, now they've done something to the stadium as well, which they've put a lot of scaffolding up in the top tier where they're doing the work, which lets everyone know, hey, there's some work going on here. We haven't just stopped people from going up there for no
Well, it's
reason.
because they were stonewalling our investigation
What's
about
wrong?
why is the roof broken and why can't we sit under it.
Is it the roof? Is
But
it
why can you sit a little bit not under it, but almost still under it?
under something that
Yeah.
may be holding it up? So if the whole thing collapses,
Yeah.
23
Still stuffed.
23,000 deaths is what we will see.
23,001 Naggy. What do you reckon one
23,001
bloke gets really lucky?
There's one guy. He hopped in. He can hop out just as quickly. But Liam, we were looking at the game in terms of our success this season. It was something that was, I would say, less than remarkable.
It was.
But if we're looking at how far we have come, rather than our games against Parramatta Eels last year in 2025, much different. Finishing the last round of the season, with a 56-point loss.
A lot of points. And I think it's good that the Knights are winning a flaccid penis of a game because under the Adam O'Brien regime, under the Nathan Brown regime, the Knights would lose the flaccid penis games, of
Yes.
course. So the fact that we're winning the said games, I've got to stop saying flaccid penis.
That's right.
The fact that the Knights are winning. No, I don't. You're right, Josh.
You're right.
Thank you.
You do what
I've
you like.
received
No worries,
permission.
mate. All good.
I've received permission from the buttons to keep repeating flaccid penis.
Penis.
It might be the episode title, actually.
Of course, there we've got the try scorers, one being Dylan Lucas, two being also Dylan Lucas
Yeah.
again, Greg Marju, as well as You're a Magician, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And Fletcher Hunt getting one in there for good measure. Now 4 tries, 2-5. We were coming up. These are the baby Eels, really. They've been ravaged by injury this year.
More than most, the poor Parramatta Eels, my word. Who have they got on the sideline? Jermaine Hopgood, Junior Barlow, Mitch Moses. Got
A lot of talent.
They got a lot of salary cap on the sideline.
Got to give credit to.
They still lost, so who cares?
Is it Jack Williams that was captaining?
Yeah,
them?
boy, didn't he come out with a bit of vim and vigor?
He was everywhere.
Yeah,
He was-
it's rare that you see these days a real one-on-one front row battle. I thought the Jack Williams, Jacob Saifidi front row battle was a ripper.
It was.
They were just belting each other.
They
It was
were going
great.
after each other.
You don't see that often enough. Just two big blokes just saying, let's go.
I'll tell you where I saw a really good one was with Jason Kalis. This is the first round of
Jason Kalis.
Jason
The
Kalis.
lesser-known Kalis.
The Roosters Kalis, long-haired Kalis, coming up against Scott Logan of South. It was round 1, 2005.
This is one for the true believers.
Yeah. You had a great front row battle that every time each one of them took a ball up, they just ran straight at each other and belted each other. And Scotty Logan was it Scott Logan? Anyway,
Who was it up against?
Jason Kalis.
Jason Kalis.
Yeah.
Scott Logan?
Scott Logan.
I think it was Scott Logan. Let's see if we can find anything there.
2005, Jason Kalis, Scott Logan.
I don't know.
Anyway, in the
There's
meantime, Naggy, do you prefer a one-on-one mano-a-mano front row battle or a one-on-one mano-a-mano centre battle?
I know you like the centre
I
battles.
love a
Liam.
good centre battle.
Of course.
Chris, what was the grand final? Manly versus the Warriors. Christian and Inu up against Stephen Matai.
Matai, yeah, it was
two
probably-
blokes who were just belting each other. That was great.
Also, we saw the great one with Jimmy the Jet versus
Jimmy the Jet and Latrell.
yeah.
that was a ripper.
2019 or
Yeah,
2018 round then.
2018, I think it was.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
It was the first year of the back-to-backs.
And they both had, like, it was all Latrell the first half.
Then it was
and
all Jimmy the second half.
All Jimmy the second half. I
Poetry
really
in
liked
motion.
that.
You couldn't make it up. Anyway, back to the boring game.
Yeah, it was a game full of absolute disgusting errors through the middle of it. I think we got the stats there when we're looking at the amount of errors: 13 to the Eels, 12 to the Newcastle Knights. A lot of them happened within a 15-minute period, and it was hair-pullingly bad.
It was, 73% completion to the Knights, 71% completion to Parramatta. Pretty gross.
It was not a good
great.
game of rugby league in terms of actually competing for rugby league wins.
But it was a good game of rugby league in that the Knights won.
It was, and the Knights one. It was always competitive. It came right down to the wire, and I'm sure everyone there thoroughly enjoyed it. But also,
All 23,001 people had a good
23,001
time.
packed there into the stadium. But it also
Who's stonewalling the roof investigation?
we don't know
Yeah.
who's up there. We don't know. No one's told us.
Yeah.
But Liam, of course, when we're looking at the key performances for the Newcastle versus Eels game, we have to find the best ones and take our hats off in a segment let's call Hats Off.
Hats off. Hats off. Hats off.
Of course, brought to you by delicious mullet pale ale. Citra hops are singing out in this beautiful American style pale ale. I might have 10.
Is that the typical hops you
Title
find
responsibly.
in American style pale ales?
Citra. It's one of the more popular ones. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, no, there's some good ones. Citra hop beers are always a pleasure.
Of course,
Always a joy.
you can't take your hat off without seeing your mullet flow. Now, many people put their hand up for hats off this week. It was a game, despite it being not the best game of rugby league, it was a close game, and the stand-up performers really stood up. Now, Liam, who was your first hats off for this week?
And you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard,
I think
Harry.
actually this was yours. You're a wizard, Harry. Was your hats off, Naggy? I believe.
The magician himself, Mr. Harrison Graham, coming out there off the bench as he's done in quite a few games and making an immediate impact. Now, this boy, I call him boy, he's a man. This man comes out there, and when we were really struggling to put anything together, he says, "Hang on, boys, I'm going to do it myself."
Jump on me back, boys. I'm taking yous for a ride.
In a very classic hooker way of coming out, dummy once, dummy again, going through. Like Skittles did they fall as they hit him trying to chase him. And then you think, hang on a second, there's no fullback there. He's going to go all the way for a 40-metre run.
And he did the cheeky tongue out wave to the crowd thing.
The wave.
Oh, is that hubris, Naggy? Is that the hubris of man? That could have been his undoing.
The first try that he's got for the Newcastle Knights, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is strange to think, given how many games he's affected immediately when he comes on with a good line break, or he catches no markers and bloody just sneaks in around the back like the wizard that he is.
He's the perfect answer. Foil, no.
He's the answer to the question we didn't know we had to ask.
Partner, I'd say, to someone like Phoenix
No,
Crossman.
Foyle, you're right, yeah.
Foyle?
Phoenix comes in, does the hard work, the hard yards. Did he remind you of Simon Wolford?
Yes,
It's
he
the
does.
jaw and
Yeah.
the guile around the ruck that he really
guile.
reminds of Simon Wolford.
Guile, can you walk me through Guile?
Guile.
Yeah,
I think it's when you're crafty,
Yeah,
when
okay.
you're sneaky,
yeah.
but you get shit done. Yeah, like if you got guile,
Like a
you're
magician.
like... Yeah,
Like a
you're
magician.
a magician. Yeah.
Uh,
Do you think magicians get offended when you call them wizards?
Yeah, probably.
We'll have to ask Harry when he comes on the show.
Well, yeah. It's so anyway. He, the magician himself.
Sorry, how do the Irish feel about like leprechauns? Like,
Yeah.
Love him. Big fan.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, no worries.
Yeah. No, we're very pro leprechaun. My grandfather, we used to call him a leprechaun. He loved it. It was
Oh,
great.
okay, I thought you said your father.
Beautiful. Well, he was short and Irish and a wizard. So,
Magical powers.
Communist atheist.
His
That's a
name wasn't
leprechaun.
Harry, was it?
Harry McNeil's a good strong name.
It is, yeah. No, it's Patrick Joseph Connolly. You could not get more Irish than Patrick Joseph Connolly.
And when he came onto the field, as I said, he did it all himself. And again, he's got that creativity where he's got good game awareness, can put people through holes, can do it all himself, as he just showed there. And is he the biggest? No, the fastest? Not at all.
Don't
But-
got to be. If you've got it between the ears, Naggy.
Yeah, the noggin.
He's got a brain in his head.
The pointer means the noggin. So and look, it was just did it all himself. Hats off for really breaking the game open for securing the win.
What a 1-2 punch it is with Phoenix Crossland and Harry, the Magician Graham. Fantastic. Wonderful stuff.
Now, Liam, your hats off for this week also includes.
Oh, mate. He's peanut butter, he's cheese, he's big and wonderful. He's Dylan Lucas. He's here for 3 more years or whatever. We'll touch on more in the news. But is there
Yumma, yumma.
anything, Naggy, in the second rowers Arsenal that Dylan Lucas doesn't have?
I think in the modern game, no. Like, is he the biggest second row? No. Is he the fastest? Possibly,
No.
yes.
Got it between the ears.
Got it between
But
the
one
ears.
thing, and I was paying close attention to him during this game, and a few games through this year, he does something that is, it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
But he has absolutely perfected the dead straight running line. Like
Yeah.
when you are playing in the second row or center, when you're playing on the edge and you're taking a hard straight line, there's always a tendency to use a bit of footwork. You step ever so slightly. He just runs
Boom.
dead straight.
Yeah.
He lines up the inside shoulder of each, or the inside shoulder and the outside shoulder
Yeah.
of the players defending him, and he just goes absolutely dead straight through them. I don't. It's rare that you see a line runner who doesn't incorporate like a fade out or a step into a hard unders line. He just goes dead straight, and people find it really hard to defend because you don't have time to adjust. Where if he slides a bit, if he cuts back under, it gives the defense a second to readjust.
Yeah.
If you're just going dead straight, you absolutely can't make that decision.
Accelerates through the line,
Yeah.
and when he's beyond the line, he is already so far gone before anyone realises that the line's been broken.
And one thing as well about him is you always hear, he obviously didn't take the field in Origin, but you often hear about, players who go into Origin camp where they're surrounded by these great players. They come out all the better.
They lift, yeah.
He's been so good since he, famously didn't debut in Origin, but
No.
surely game 2, he's knocking at the door.
He put his hand
He's
up.
setting the door on fire. He's burning the house down. Put him in, Laurie.
Both hands up he put
Yeah.
up. He said, put me in, Laurie.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you said, like he was in particularly good form, and then he's just come out and continued that form even better. And we've re-signed him big and wonderful.
Big and wonderful.
As we continue to move through our hats off, because again, we have to continue our hats for players that we think maybe needed a little bit more attention or something in the game that we didn't particularly like. We have to put our hats back on our heads with a segment we like to call Hats Back On.
Yeah, you put your hat on.
Pains me to say, Liam, pains me to say.
Have we ever done this before? Oh, no, we did a bit last year because he wasn't in great form. But
At
it's
least-
rare still.
It's rare more so that Kalen Ponga gets the hats back on, headgear back on, potentially. Now, he was coming into this game from the very, very infamous send-off during State of Origin, which was a game turner.
Infamous. He's more than famous.
Yeah, which it worked in our favour, but it wasn't in Queensland's. He loves Queensland. That's his one. No man can be perfect, and Queensland's Kalen Ponga is not perfect because he's from Queensland.
And ever so slightly not perfect. Like, he's only a little tiny bit not perfect.
Yeah, tiny bit not perfect. So, but anyway, he came out, and unlike the rest of the games that he's put forward this year, and I believe he's on a 100% winning record playing with the Knights this year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think he's lost a game
Yeah.
in Newcastle colours. So the Queensland loss was his first time, and he spent a lot of it
He's forgotten what it's like.
in the changing
He
room.
doesn't remember what losing was like.
He came out rather than playing his easy flow natural game where he was basically beating everyone on the field and leaving the defence
Setting
to
up
make
tries
mistakes.
left, right, and centre.
He was trying to play too quick, too much, and trying to force it. He was like a constipated man, and he was just forcing it. He was just going, oh, and
You can't force it out. You get piles.
And you say, relax, Kalen, just relax, let it happen. And he says, no, I got to get this done today.
Pop down to Chemist Warehouse, get a stool softener, bud.
Yeah. Movacol, I hear is quite good.
I've heard that too.
Did you hear that?
Overnight relief, they tell me.
Look, if I want relief, I don't want overnight relief.
Yeah,
you
who
wake
wants-
up with a mess in your bed.
Hopefully, it's want
Terrible.
immediate relief.
I don't want to wait.
No one wants to wake up going, oh, and then you have to run.
So what are you going to take then? Like, I really have to shit in 6 hours.
Never.
You got to plan your whole day around it.
Yeah.
No good. No good.
So anyway, Kalen Ponga was
Been eating
playing
too much fondue.
constipated man. He's doing his best in terms of orchestrating, doing lots of touches of the ball.
Well,
but
that's it. You can't give hats back onto his effort.
No.
Now you can't put hats back onto his effort because he's trying his best. And sometimes if you're trying your best, it just doesn't come off.
doesn't come off.
Yeah.
Doesn't come,
Sometimes when you're trying your best, you shit yourself.
doesn't come out. It just doesn't come out. It doesn't come off, doesn't come out. And but it's there. And it feels so. Kalen Ponga gets a very, very rare hats back on.
But we know that, he listens to the show. He's a big fan of the show. We know that he will take this not as an insult.
No.
He won't take this as slander.
He knew
He'll
it.
say the boys just want me to be better.
Yeah.
And we know he can, and he knows he can.
He knows.
And the whole states of New South Wales and Queensland knows he can.
Both
the whole
of them.
populace of the world know that he can, Naggy.
Yeah.
And he will. Not just he can, he will.
He can and he will and he will again. But of course, as he's still reflecting on the state of origin match. But still captain the side to a win over the Eels. Again, one that, gave us 2 touch-ups last season. Jason Riles there, of course, the coach of the Eels, with many, many little eels.
Do you think you'd eat an eel pie if it were put in front of you, Naggy?
Probably not.
No.
Jellied eel, maybe I'd try. I don't know. But now we look at ourselves where we're landing on the ladder.
Top 4 again.
Top 4 once
What
again. Now
a topsy-turvy. The Knights have gone from 3rd down to 11th to we're 5th, we're coming 5th, and now the Knights coming 4th.
Fourth.
What a roller coaster of a stressful bastard of a year.
can I just say, I'm going to put this out there here.
Oh, please do.
That
I love when you put things out there.
I believe now that if you look at the log jam of the
I love a good log jam.
of the table, if you look at the Cowboys, they have the same amount of wins that the Newcastle Knights have, but they're sitting ninth. And that's
Ninth.
because they have not had a bye yet.
Oh, now you have a thing here about the bye, Naggy.
Throughout the season, there's moments where the bye, where some teams will have 2 byes, some teams will have none. So that gives a false ladder. And then we have to wait until we go, well, they're not getting the bye until then, and so they're really on that many points.
It muddies the waters, really.
Really, all of the bye points potentially could be awarded pre-season.
Just put them in at the start, yeah.
And if you're going to do that, why don't you make the bye 0 points?
I think you're exactly right there, Naggy. The
Zero-
bye should be 0 points. 2 points for a bye is stupid. We're simple people, rugby league people. We're simple.
When there was 2 byes,
Yeah.
it was a lot easier. But now there's 3 byes, and some teams get 2 byes before the other teams get any. So then you have a real false economy of the ladder, where you've got teams like the Cowboys that are way down there in ninth, not even in the top 8 as a snapshot, but teams like the Knights in the top 4. And how does that make any sense? Because we're just looking
It
at
doesn't.
bye. If everyone's on 0 points for the bye, it feels like you're getting shortchanged.
And you don't
by
have to
the
do
bye.
maths.
But where you are on the ladder represents how many wins you have for the season. Everyone has the equal opportunity.
I think you're onto something, Naggy.
Can we just make this happen? It doesn't feel right, but just do it. And then you will forget about it immediately after because it become normal.
Yeah, buy points are a thing. It should be a thing of the past, Naggy.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know.
Hats back on to buy points,
Buy
Naggy.
points, yeah, that's right. When we're looking at the State of Origin game that is fastly approaching, Liam.
Very quickly. Nostradamus there, we saw, and his prophecies. There was a slight typo on the Nostradamus book. You'd think Nostradamus, if you wrote a book, he was famous for his prophecies, you'd think he'd know how to spell prophecies, wouldn't you?
You'd think that'd be the case.
Yeah.
Liam, actually, there's so much to talk about State of Origin. I'm going to bring it back at the second half.
The famous second half of the Joust.
The famous second half of the Joust. And to play us out into our second half, of course, is our musical guest, Mr. Harmon E. Monica.
Come gather blue people wherever you roam, and if New South Wales got lucky at home and accepted soon will be beat by a parole. If the series deal is worth saving, all the Blues only won because Caleb got gone, and the team that might need a change.
Alrighty then.
295 days. It's such a long time to only lose. They gotta get out of last place. The Dragons have made the sliders the breakthrough.
Thank you, Mr. Monica. Of course, Liam, when we're discussing everything rugby league, we have to cover the news. Thank you, Harmon. Now, the first thing, which was of last week, Liam, when we were really looking at big events, something that I didn't see coming was the St. George Illawarra Dragons coming out of their slump to beat the reigning premiers.
Look,
of
we've
the
had some
Broncos.
big things happen this year, Naggy. War in the Middle East,
Yep.
oil expensive in the Middle East. It's a lot of Middle East stuff. It's
Lot of
good
Middle East,
that the
yeah.
focus of the world comes back to rugby league for a truly earth-shattering story. The Dragons have won a game of rugby league.
A lot of statistically, they were probably going to win a game, but I think a lot of people wouldn't have thought they were going to beat the Brisbane Broncos. Broncos.
The premiers, the
ratings, yeah.
incumbent premiers, Naggy.
Is it because the Brisbane Broncos changed their logo, Liam?
Yes.
Yeah, they had
They've gone for the minimalist look. I don't like it. It's boring. Bring back the old roaring horse.
I always feel for the people that were so excited and so Brisbane focused because they waited for their team to win for the last basically 19 years. They were between premierships, and they might have been so excited they got a Brisbane Broncos tattoo, as many of the fans like to do.
Yeah, and rightly so. It's a well-earned tattoo.
Immediately, that tattoo was considered aged and old and not used anymore.
But at the same time, they've still got a premiership.
They've still got a premiership. They're still there. But also, when you come after a premiership, these things happen. It's very hard to go 2 in a row after we've been so, I was going to say blessed, maybe cursed with the Penrith Panthers winning so many in a row and just constantly being successful that we may have not seen that a team like the Dragons, who have changed coaches, been stuck there at the bottom of the ladder, and my God,
With the bargain basement, bloody
bin.
Todd Payton there, the bargain bin Todd Payton
Bargain
there.
bin Todd Payton and Dean Young,
Yeah.
the Timu Todd Payton. But I didn't think
Timu Todd.
and I really wasn't sure where their next win was coming. Looking at their draw, they have got a lot of tough games coming up. With they were sort of unlucky in the way that they played teams that weren't playing very, like the bottom teams very early in the season, but then they started. They were playing well. They're no longer playing well. It seems like the form, they were often chasing the form, and they were always like a couple of weeks out.
Yeah, I watched this with my brother-in-law, who's a diehard Broncos fan. It was a tough afternoon. It was a tough afternoon in their household there.
Yeah,
but,
did the premiership give him enough solace to say, well, that's all right?
Oh, well, I think it did. But he was also stinging off the back of Queensland's loss, so it was a rough week in their house.
Bad time to be a Queenslander, and we're okay with that. And so, look, it's good to see the St George Illawarra win.
Because of course we Naggy have been on the end of the beatings that they've got, the unwinning streak, the losing streak. We've been there, so we empathise with you Dragons fans from the heartland of the Illawarra, of St George. These are rugby league people who deserve a win, Naggy. They deserve a win.
It also makes regular pundits of the news easy to punch down on the Dragons and say, oh, well, you know, they've actually gone to shit. We need some accountability from the club, and really they can't do anything. The team's out there; they've already been selected. They're building a roster for next year.
Well, that's it. They've got, like, next year, the prospects for the Dragons are very good. They've got the Couchman brothers who, you know, by all accounts are future Origin players. They're killing right now in a very, very bad team. And then, of course, on next year, they've got Scotty Drinks, Keon Kalamatangi, the Ghost Drop, coming in. Luke Metcalf, Group 2 legend, unfortunately. He didn't play for the Comets. Aurora Valley Axeman legend. Philip Semi, which I think is an astute signing. He always does fun, weird stuff.
Former Queensland representative and just a very serviceable winger. Like, he's been
playing the centres a bit recently as well.
Probably.
Serviceable again, you know. And then, of course, they're getting a 1-year sabbatical from Connor Watson before he goes off to the PNG Chiefs, which we'll discuss in a moment.
That's right.
So I think while, you know, the Knights were absolutely dire and couldn't sign anyone to save their lives, the Dragons have somehow turned it around by signing a couple of potential rep players and one very, very definitely should be a potential rep player.
Gone to the shops and they've managed to get some really, I'd say, excellent buys in competition with both the PNG Chiefs as well as the Perth Bears, who seem to have forgotten to sign anyone at all this year.
What has happened to the Perth Bears, Naggy?
Don't know. I really don't know. But now if we're looking where Connor Watson will be heading after this, and this seems to be the Jonah Pezzett way of signing contracts, where you go, I'm going to do a 1 year hello, goodbye. And then
quick
move
in,
on
quick
to...
out. You'll never know I was there.
A brief one, and then we'll go somewhere else. It seems to be breaking up these sort of long-term contracts and to work around who's got the salary cap there. But
just have a year off, I reckon. Have a gap year. Go around Europe and get pissed all the time.
Connor Watson is heading there to the PNG Chiefs under, of course, penis.
Because, of course, Willie means penis.
And Peters sounds like penis. So he's building quite a roster now with, I think it's his third official signing after Jerome Luai.
And then they've got Matty Lees from the Super League. Now, I don't know much about this fella,
Don't know anything
but
about him,
I heard he's pretty good, I think. He's one of those Super League players that the name often pops up but you don't know what that means.
Don't know what it means.
It's like,
Could be
he could be
bad.
popping up because he's very good, or he could be popping up because he's comically bad. But his name is popping up.
It is hard to over there because you do see some players fall out the arse end of the NRL, go over there and win not golden boot, Man of Steel.
It's the Man of Steel, yeah.
Man of Steel.
NRL legends like Brody Croft and
They
Bevan
ca-
French.
Jackson Hastings.
Jackson Hastings. They
Brett
can't.
Hodgson.
Brett Hodge. Okay, now he was actually good. Come on now.
Shouldn't have played Origin though. Maybe Origin wasn't for him, Josh?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course. Another star of Penrith Panthers, because we are looking potentially that Penis is building a bit of a retirement home for these grand finalists constantly, and we might see Premiership winners of potentially Brian Tyro also heading over there. Good friends with Jerome Luai, who seems to be their marquee signing. And
Do you remember Jerome Luai's best man speech?
Isn't it
for Brian
horrible?
Tyler?
Isn't it? He's just drunk. or
Worst
something?
thing I've ever seen.
Is like drunk and not funny, isn't
Hey,
it?
Brian, remember on tour when you were wanking heaps? Great best man speech.
It's
Very,
not-
very good.
To be honest, pretty funny.
It was very funny. Yeah.
And of course, Alex Johnston over there as well, really solidifying the side. It seems to be building with
Is that
excitement.
Coco Chanel there over Jerome Luai's left shoulder signing him?
I believe Coco over
Big
there.
fan of the Nazis she was. Coco Chanel, yeah.
She was a big fan of the.
Died in the wool Third Reich supporter.
There you go. And now just makes fragrances,
Which we don't like on this show. We don't like that.
We are not fans of the fragrances of Coco Chanel. Now, of course, when we're looking at the response to the result against this is the current premiers, reigning premiers, how do they respond to the loss to the Dragons?
Yep.
And that is Madge Maguire swinging a big old axe.
Well, now, Naggy, it's good that the Dragons have taken... Because for the last few years, losing to the Knights was your bottom. If you lost to the Knights, the axe would swing. But now, if you lose to the Knights, like, oh, you lost to a pretty good team.
Pretty
if you
good
lose
team.
to the Dragons, however, the axe will swing and your season will turn around. I think this game will become a touchstone moment for Michael Maguire. We'll look back when the Broncos make it inevitably to a preliminary final, if not another grand final,
Yeah.
and we'll say, boy, the Dragons game was the turning point.
Ezra Mam was famously playing in game one off the bench, didn't see any time of Queensland, but was part of that squad. But Madge Maguire has decided to say, you're good enough for Queensland on the bench, you're good enough for the Broncos on the bench. And potentially, again, in that 19th jersey, he may not take the field. In his place, though, is a young fella by the name of Tom Duffy. Not to be confused with Todd Duffy, who was also an MMA fighter. But
Who would make that confusion?
very
MMA is a very different sport.
two very similar names. Todd Duffy was a big sort of hulking man, but also used to get knocked out a lot.
It was like when they had Matt Duffy playing for the Melbourne Storm, and then all of a sudden Matt Duffy came in, and no one knew what to do.
Yeah.
No one knew what to do. It was very confusing.
We're really waiting for an Alex Johnson to come in and just make it even more confusing.
Now, if you ask most rugby league fans, they would say there already is an Alex Johnson,
Johnson.
and he's signed for the PNG Chiefs.
That's right.
Yeah, there is one.
Certainly not Johnston. So it's a tough game now coming up against the Sharks for the Brisbane Broncos to see if they can pull it all together. We're not really sure if they can. And also the Seagull.
Seagull's just there, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, because it's the next item in
the
the
next
news.
item of the
Yes,
news,
of
of course.
course.
Is
Yes.
we got the Manly Sea Eagles or the Seagulls sometimes. A seagull is like an eagle, really, isn't it?
No, they're very, very different.
One's a
You're
raptor.
making some really, really strange analogies here now.
That's right. One's a rabbit eats meat, a meat-eating bird. Another eats chips. They must have really cashed in when they realised they loved eating chips, and they sort of live on the coast.
Well,
and
chips are fantastic.
but people love
How
to go
could
to
you
the-
not love chips?
People love to go to the coast and eat chips,
Yeah.
and then they can just walk around.
Best
and
thing
say,
you can do in life. Just
I-
go to the coast and eat some chips.
Can I have a chips? But I tell you what, Manly have re-signed.
Speaking of chips.
Speaking of chips, Fosball.
Which is funny because KFC have the worst chips in the fast food game. The chips are terrible. If you don't get extra salt, you are wasting your time.
Now, a lot
They're
of the-
always soggy. Ugh.
A lot of the NRL is enamoured, if you will, with Kieran Foran there. Has just been extended as Manly's head coach for extended for the next 3 or so years.
Famously had never coached a day.
Never coached today, Kieran Foran, and now they've gone so ballistic up there in what Manly Vale, a place that I didn't know existed until I read this. They've decided
Well,
to.
they've got Manly, they've got Mona Vale. They seem to have one in between there.
Manly
and KFC have gone all in on this.
Yes.
A big corporation, rarely do the big corporations where everything's all about the money. Rarely do they acquiesce to the will of the people. But the Colonel's gone and done it. They've gone here and put what I thought was an AI image of Kieran Foran up on top of a KFC somewhere in Manly Vale.
In the style of the Colonel himself is now Kieran Foran, if you will. And they're right there, up there at the top. They used to spin. Remember the buckets used to spin?
They did. They used to spin. We used to be a real country. We used to build things in this country. Remember when Norm Macdonald played the Colonel?
Oh, yeah. It's very
What a
good.
get for KFC. They got
What a
Norm.
But now that's how mad they've gone about Kieran Foran playing the Fosball. That they're rebranding all the big businesses up there. It's only a matter of time before we see Kieran Foran maybe in a red hair and clown makeup.
But it's such a rugby league trope that you have to get someone in who knows the club. I think Manly's the only club where that actually does apply. They never succeed unless there is a Manly person in charge.
Yeah.
They succeeded under Des. They were pretty good under Jeff Tuvey. They've been amazing under Kieran Foran. I don't think any other coach who's not from Manly has had success at Manly.
It seems like they are that kind of peninsula. You're there, you're from there.
Rhyming.
You're
Maggie's rapping again.
You're either from there, and that seems to be like you're one of us, or you're an outsider. Now, I don't know.
I hate him.
This might be the curse, because if you remember back, the Roosters did a similar thing with Brad Fittler. Brad Fittler had a great season coming in as sort of an interim coach. They were like, we're going to re-sign you. Turns out he wasn't a very good coach at the time. He was just coming off the back end of a playing career, and then
And he was gobbling up on the success of the coach before him.
and he was doing so well that they're like, oh, let's re-sign him. By the middle of the following year, they were like, maybe this hasn't worked out well. It did also involve him getting quite drunk and shirtless at a place that they were all staying.
Let he who has not got drunk and shirtless at a place that they are all staying cast the first stone, I say.
Yes. But he did think that someone had played a joke on him and locked him out of his accommodation.
Pranked him.
Yeah, except it wasn't the right cabin. So some people that just booked accommodation woke up to a shirtless, drunk Brad Fittler saying, "Let me in, you bastards."
What a privilege to be blessed by a rugby league great. I wish that Brad Fittler would drunkenly knock on my door and say,
Brother.
"G'day,
Good on
idiot."
you, Freddie.
Let me in, you bastard, Liam. Let me in. You say, come
And
in,
I would.
Freddie.
Come on in.
Come in. He has a dark past, Freddie. But when we're looking at part of his past, we've got to talk about State of Origin, Liam. State of Origin just around the corner. We're on the eve of it, really, because at the end of this round, we see the team's name for New South Wales.
State of Origin, you dark, dirty, beautiful thing.
And as we look forward, as the teams what will happen when our beloved Blues? Now,
Let's speculate wildly, Naggy.
Now, if you look at, we'll start at the beginning. James Tedesco winning,
Best place to start.
winning the match for New South Wales, but also was found a little bit out of position at times off the kicking of Sam Walker. Do you keep him or do you pull him? You would assume that you must keep him, but there still might be a bit of pressure under there to think, we do have Dylan Edwards there, the 4-time premiership winning fullback.
Because I think the other thing that brings great food for thought, an entire feast for thought, a 7-course banquet of thought, is that it seems to be that James Tedesco, working with Reece Robson in the middle, seemed to trample a bit over the Nathan Cleary, Ethan Strange situation there.
Yep.
It seemed like maybe there was too many cooks in the kitchen of the
Yep.
New South Wales Blues there, where I think there's too many Dylans in
other
rugby
one,
league.
yeah.
Sort it out, NRL. See, Abdo leaves and there's all just Dylans everywhere. Which
everywhere.
one's the Penrith one?
Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, Dylan Edwards. Yeah, it seems like Dylan Edwards would fit in a bit better with the way it seems like New South Wales should play, where it's a Cleary and Moses or Strange, which we'll come to in just a moment. It just seems like Teddy sort of trampled over the playmakers, the decision makers, and tried to insert himself into places where he shouldn't be.
Teddy up the middle really worked at the very end of the game, but throughout the game, maybe it was a bit snuffed.
But it did work up the bloody the end of the game where the night.
Exactly what
shit.
I said. And Mitchell Moses seems like he's going to come straight back into the team despite not playing any games in that time. And he's going to be straight in that number 6 jersey. What do you do with Ethan Strange? Now, do you put him at centre, Liam, to cover the injury of Stephen Crichton?
Absolutely. You can't leave the man out of the team. Now, Nagy, on the Mitchell Moses thing, I have heard, Nagy, from my sources in Inside Rugby League, but it was just another podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Laurie apparently said to someone that if Mitch Moses doesn't get a game in before Origin, he shan't pick him.
Big pressure on Mitchell this week. I'm not
Yeah.
even sure he's named.
Well, no,
so-
that's the thing. He hasn't been named. He's not. He shan't be playing. So if he shan't be playing, Laurie won't pick him. Hence, we have Ethan Strange there at number 6.
It does seem like a crime to keep Ethan Strange on the bench after having what I believe was a man of the match performance. But can he redo? Can he recreate that kind of magic out there in the centres? I'm not really sure. He seems like one of those players that all pundits will start saying, well, he's a footballer, he just plays football. Can he do that?
As
at
do
any
all
position?
34, no, not 34 men, because it's 19 man teams now. All 38 men are all football
Footballers.
players.
They're just footballers. They're
Professionally, that's literally on their tax returns.
They're just footballers.
Yeah.
They're just boys.
The football player.
Of
They're
course.
footy player.
Footy players.
But yeah, I love the idea of Ethan Strange in the centres. Just put him out there in Critter's spot because Critter's out injured. Just feed him the ball.
Speaking of injuries, of course, Blake Brayley has broken his arm.
Well, he's got a suspected broken arm. I feel like an X-ray would clear that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, we haven't gone that
You shouldn't
far.
have to suspect it for that long.
Yeah, we're suspecting that he might be breaking his arm from the facts that his arm is currently broken. Yeah. So he's had to go in for surgery. Apparently, he put the broken arm back into place himself. I don't know.
That's an origin move. That is an origin move.
Neither of us are doctors. We can't comment on medical issues.
No,
Thank
not
you.
since the lawsuit.
The Joust versus Cessnock City Council. We
They
apologise.
keep coming for us, Cessnock City
They
Council.
really-
Give us a break, mate.
Litigious they are.
Yeah.
Of course. So Blake
It's
Blake-
a hard name to say. Blake
Brayley
Yeah.
is currently out. But we also welcome back Payne Haas.
Straight into the front row. Surely Payne Haas goes straight in the front.
Now, Liam, would you play Payne Haas and Adam Fanil Blake at 8 and 10?
Nope.
Okay.
Isaiah Yeo, I think Payne Haas, Isaiah Yeo, Cam Murray has to play 80 minutes at the back. When Cam Murray came on, he changed the game. 41 tackles, 0 misses,
0 misses.
locked up the middle. I think you just play huge minutes for Payne Haas, Isaiah Yeo, Cam Murray at 13. Do it, Laurie.
Yeah, do it. And sort of making up the rest of the... That might be everything, actually. It might be all the changes that we might possibly be making.
Oh, can we just talk back briefly to the 1 to 19 we had there? Tolu Kola, what's he doing? What's he up to? Is he out? No, because he's had his 11-day stand
His
down.
head's still sore.
His head's still. He's got a sore noggin. Hey, give him a break, boys. A sore noggin it's a hurting thing. Does Tolu Kola play? And if not, who do you put on the sting?
Yeah, Mikey Mark could be coming back. He might be. He's named this week, so we could be potentially seeing.
God, I'd love to see him play State of Origin.
Yeah,
He's so sick.
Big, huge winger. It looks like a lot of the time he doesn't really know the rules, but he plays well within them.
He was the same in Union too. It's like he doesn't know the rules. Just give him the ball. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But again, Laurie Daly seems to have this weird obsession with building a team. He's like, I want to build a team for the future. That doesn't work in Origin. Just win. Just win, Laurie.
Laurie, don't-
He's not going to be there next year. He's going to be playing for the Wallabies. It doesn't matter. Win this year and all of us will say, oh, well done, Laurie. You've now won 2 out of 7. Great work.
Really hard for Laurie Daly to come in. From this point, he just needs to win one of the next 2. New South Wales in their most recent series wins typically wins the first 2 games. There's a bit of a slide against...
Not on the match, though.
Bit of a slide against Nathan Cleary. They say, oh, he's never won a decider. Yeah, but the series that he's won the first 2 games.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's wrapped up.
But there's the other thing. If you win the first game, the second game is automatically a decider.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
if you win, the series is decided. So the series
point.
he's won in 2 games, he has won the deciders.
Yeah.
Because the decider just happens to be game 2.
That's right.
It is a decider.
It is a decider because we won the series.
Really, the only game that isn't a decider is game 1.
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
so 66% of the time, State of Origin is a decider.
That's right. Yeah. No, you've blown my mind. My sweet little mind.
Cop that, Abdo.
Yeah. He's gone, Liam.
gone.
He's gone. He can't haunt your dreams any
But
further.
who gets dropped then? Obviously, you've ideally Payne Haas, Isaiah on the front row. They'll play big minutes. You've got a Mitch Barnett. You've got an AFB. You've got a Jacob Saifidi. Laurie will somehow end up picking Stefano Utoikamano. I don't know how the hell he's going to do that.
Hope he doesn't.
But which of those men gets unceremoniously dumped?
Probably
Nagy?
JSAF, unfortunately, because he couldn't
Ah,
prove himself because he
shit.
never went on the field. But that doesn't mean he's also there ready for us. So,
And no Blake Brayley. Who do you see slip? Connor Watson.
No.
Is that Connor Watson's music?
No.
But
Don't like it at all.
But who do you put in place of Blake Brayley?
Either Wade Egan or Abby Carousel. My preference is Abby Carousel.
Both great picks.
Yeah.
Wade Egan, what a player he's developed into. I always thought for early on in his career with Wade Egan, you could see that he had the rugby league IQ because he would try to do things that smart players would do, but he didn't quite have the physical gifts or the speed at the ruck.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, when he developed those skills, he already had the IQ going. Whereas a lot of other players, especially in the hooker position, they come out, they've got the athletic skills, the physical stuff. They've got that right, but they take a while to develop the IQ. He developed the IQ first, and his skills caught up, which is quite rare in the hooking role.
He gets a bit head knocky, and then
Yeah,
stays
he does
down,
too.
but then goes off for HIA, and then goes, no, he's fine. So I don't know.
I'd be happy with either of those two
Either of those
fellas.
two. Either of
They'd be
those-
great.
Yeah, I think so. And that's what you want in this larger bench. You just want someone who can come in and play hooker. That's what you want. You don't want someone that plays hooker sometimes kind of on the weekends.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but that's when
Well, all rugby league players play on the weekends,
That's
yeah.
right.
And Dylan Lucas, put him in. Do it, Laurie, you coward. Put him in.
Payne Haas is a massive in because in Queensland, Pat Carrigan is out.
Oh, the
What?
old switcheroo.
Potentially back for game 3, but not looking likely. But it seems like Pat Carrigan, who had an enormous game off the bench for Queensland, is no
He
longer
always
going to be
does.
there. Yeah, and as well as Shibby, who didn't make the field for the first game, but he's no longer in contention either. They are both injured. So it's going to
what?
be injured.
Injured.
Oh, enjoyed. Yes.
Injured, yes.
Enjoyed.
No, so it's going to be interesting to see which way Billy goes, which way Laurie goes. Laurie, don't fuck it for us. You've got one win. You have to win one out
You
of the
got
next
one
2
job,
games.
Laurie. You literally have one job in rugby league to win State of Origin games. You have the whole year to do it. Just fucking do it. Just do it, and we'll all shut up about it, and
shut
we'll
up.
move on to next year.
That's right. As with,
I love State of Origin. Also, Casey McLean. Put him straight in on the wing.
Oh, you put him on the wing.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's it. Do you pick Casey McLean? McLean. Did we land? Where did we land on that?
McLean.
It is McLean.
McLean.
Well, that's it. Does Mark Nwangatuase get the spot ahead of Casey McLean, who
Probably not.
proved to be an Origin
He
specialist
just
from the
looked like-
second he stepped on the field?
He looked like he had superpowers.
Yeah, there you
incredible.
go. Sorry, Mark, your Origin tenure was brief.
Ah, you'll be good
Never
next
even
year.
started. Finished before it started.
That's right.
Anyway, put Casey in and we'll win the game.
Liam, we must look backwards, not forwards, forwards, not backwards.
Twirling, always twirling.
And we've got a game against. We've got a game against the Melbourne Storm this week. This Friday, tomorrow. It might be today when you're watching this. So
Could be yesterday
could be
if you've had a quiet Friday and you didn't have much to do, so you didn't actually watch. you know.
Yeah, it's permanently on
Time's
this.
a flat circle.
Could be a year ago.
Everything that's already happened will happen again, and everything that has happened will happen.
We're going down to Amy Park, a place where we have very, very few wins. It seems like it's
So do
all-
most teams, to be fair, given the dominance of the Melbourne Storm over the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah.
in the competition.
It does seem like it's very, very difficult to win down there typically. Now, the Melbourne Storm...
Ghost of Christmas Past there.
But the Ghost of Christmas Past being...
Jack Hetherington.
Jack Hetherington.
Welcome back, Jack Hetherington.
Jack
Watch him
Hetherington.
come out and have the best game he's ever played in his life.
He hasn't been that good. He has not been that good for the Melbourne Storm. But if there's ever a time they're going to beat the Melbourne Storm, it's probably when, I don't know, we're on a 4-game winning streak in the top 4 and Melbourne is sitting about 14th and they're going win-loss and they're trying to find their form. Where are they? They're 13th.
13th.
But they are on their way
Better
up.
than they were a couple of weeks ago. Oh, we forgot to talk about Dylan Lucas re-signing till 2027. Let's talk about it now, Naggy. Dylan Lucas re-signed through 2027. I hope you stuck with us, Jousters. All of a sudden, that left edge is almost locked in. You've got KP signed through till the end of 2030?
Something like that.
2030. You got Greg Buss re-signed right through till 20 whenever.
29.
Got Dylan Lucas Beager, wonderful re-signed through till 2030. What's Bradman thinking?
Bradman's the last point in that. The whole
He
left
is
edge.
the last piece in the left edge puzzle. My God, what a gorgeous left edge it was looking like. We were going to maybe lose one, maybe lose two. Let's lose none of them.
Let's lose none of them. And Bradman, of course, is not back yet for the Newcastle Knights. Probably going to be back after the bye. Now, we do have a bye after this game. Another one. Yes, another one. Should be worth 0 points, but
So
it says worth 2.
does that mean with the bye included, the Knights are first, Nagy?
No.
Okay. I still can't work out bye
again,
points.
the bye
It's very
should,
confusing.
should be worth 0 points.
Stupid system.
But we get the week off after this, which works into our favour in terms of missing any Origin stars that we may or may not have. And it's the best time that we could potentially play the Storm ever. Now we didn't beat them last year or the year before. We didn't, in 2023. I think it was the last time that we beat them. And they're 3 from 5. We are 4 in a row. So we're 4 from 5. And you know, the last few games haven't been that convincing by the Newcastle Knights.
But the Knights do have a weird habit of jagging strange wins against the Storm. Do you remember we were at a game where
I think you remember
Nick
me
Meaney
here,
scored 2 minutes in and the Storm were up 12-0 after 7 minutes and the Knights ended up coming back and winning. Was that you?
No, I wasn't there, but I remember that game, and that was 2023. That
Might
was,
have been there with my dad.
That was part of the 2023 run that we had. Yeah,
and then, of course, there was the famous Travis Waddell try with the Kurt Gidley conversion from the sideline with 0 seconds left to win. The Knights do have a habit of jagging weird wins against Storm, except this win wouldn't be weird because the Storms are in 13th and the Knights are in 4th.
Both teams seem to be in
Flux?
Yeah. I would say one good thing potentially that goes into the Knights' favour, and that is the Harry Grant and Cameron Munster, which make up, both the spine of Melbourne but also the spine of Queensland.
Double spine.
Now, if you're Harry Grant and Cameron Munster, you're thinking to yourself, this is the Newcastle Knights game, but I need to stay fit, I need to stay ready for the game against...
Do you think maybe they hold themselves back a bit? Do they restrain their efforts?
Hold themselves back,
State of Origin?
come in a bit soft, have Queensland in the back of the mind thinking, I can't do a calf, I can't do a hamstring, I can't have any sort of injuries.
Can't be doing nothing?
Because I will not be there to potentially wrestle the series back from New South Wales. They must be there for Queensland.
They must be there.
Is a game when they're sitting 13th on the ladder worth it? I don't know.
Well, is Craig Bellamy famously... Does he never rest Origin players or does he always rest Origin? I can't remember.
Well, he won't rest them this week, clearly.
He might do.
No, like right before the game.
You can't read his mind.
I can't read his mind.
You're no Harrison Magician Man.
I'm not Harrison Magician Man. You're a magician, Harry. So I think we were in with a good shout, except without any Bradman Best and also Sanders Smith, who has been fantastic for us. But we move Fletcher Sharp there into number 6. We've got Fletcher Hunt there at centre.
Fletcher to Fletcher. What a sexy, sexy thing.
Both times that they've played plenty of games there, so it's not like a reshuffle per se. It's more like a shuffle back.
Well, that's it. The Knights are sort of developing a positionless game this year, which is so sick. Just put any player in any position and it'll be wonderful.
Of course, no one.
Fletcher Sharp's literally played every position in the back line in his career up till now, and he's been insane at all of them, except for halfback.
That's true.
But he'd probably put him at a halfback and he'd score 4 tries and set 3 up.
Probably.
Yeah.
He seems to be getting better at 5'8".
Yeah.
His skill set seems
It's
to be
unreal.
growing.
It's so good.
And,
what a great time to be a Knights fan.
And having the arsenal of someone like Dylan Lucas outside of you, because... I've said before, Fletcher Sharp's, passing game isn't as refined as some of the other players. But my God, can he hit a line and throw a short ball? And that's what Dylan Lucas loves.
Well, that's it. I was talking about this with the wife the other day. We were talking about his running style. He runs a bit funny.
Yeah, funny.
Fletcher Sharp.
And Fletcher Hunt does too.
Well, they do, but they run like fast guys.
Yeah.
They run like fast guys who've never had to train to be fast. So they don't have a perfect running style because they've never had to practice. They're just like, I'm just fast.
Just quick, yeah.
And so they sort of flail around a bit, be like, but you're so fast it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You never had to train your form. Oh, I love those boys. God bless the Fletchers.
No one wants to go to Melbourne, Liam. So if you're going to be watching the game, of course, you'll be watching the game at the George Derby Hotel.
You know, I went to Melbourne. I had 2 bad coffees.
Yeah.
Everyone goes on about, coffee in
shit.
Melbourne's. I had 2 coffees and they both sucked.
I might be one-eyed, but the coffee in Newcastle is way better than the coffee in Melbourne per cafe.
And you know where the beer's
cafe
even
up?
better than everywhere in the world?
Where's that?
George Derby Hotel,
George
especially
W.
if you're drinking a mullet pale ale straight out of the... What was that, Jack Naggy? I trampled all over it, sorry.
No, that's right. I said per cafe. I don't know.
Good one. Got him.
George W. Hotel, of course, in the heart of Newcastle. Newcastle is in the heart of New South Wales. Is it the best sports bar in Australia?
Yes.
I think so.
Newcastle, the beating heart of this earth that we live on.
Make sure you head down there, and of course, you can get a nice cold mullet pale ale while you're there on tap.
Of course, Tyson, responsibly as always, please.
Oh, yeah, but it's also 6 o'clock on a Friday. Before a long weekend, I say let loose.
Tyson irresponsibly.
Let's just get Tysoned up.
We're looking at potentially 5 games on the trot against the Melbourne Storm, the 2-time grand finalists.
Well, that'll be a good song.
Well, they've won a lot more grand finals, but the 2-time grand finals most recently. But it'll be a great song that we can celebrate with our brand new musical guest. But until that time, you can find us on all the social pipes you can see in all the different colours. But to play us out is our current musical guest that we won't be seeing next week.
We dropped him.
Definitely not.
He's done a great job,
Done a
so
great job.
great that he won't be welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Harmon E. Monica.
Ba-da-da.